In this video, I want to share how I built the perfect pavilion for our pool build. With some dreaming, research, planning, and a lot of hard work, I was able to create this beautiful structure, save money doing it myself, and build something I'm truly proud of. When we first designed the pool, the plans included a simple white pavilion, and honestly, there was nothing really wrong with it. But what I really wanted was a cedar, timber frame pavilion, something you'd expect to see here in Texas. Warm, bold, and built to last. Once I started researching timber framing, I realized just how complex it really is. Mortises, tenons, precision joinery. This isn't rough carpentry. And with the large spans, the cost of long, solid timbers, that adds up fast. So I started looking for smarter ways to build it. Yeah, so it was around this time I was actually looking into a completely different project, building an outfeed and assembly table for my workshop. That's when it kind of occurred to me. I could take on this build in a completely different way than traditional mortar and tenon and lap joints. But before I committed to the idea, I needed to know if it would actually work structurally. I'm not a structural engineer. So I used ChatGPT to research load ratings, span lengths for laminated 2x6 lumber, rafter spacing, and roof slopes, making sure everything stayed within tolerances for my area. That gave me the confidence that this design wasn't just clever, it was strong and it would last. Once I had the numbers, I moved everything into SketchUp. I designed the entire pavilion digitally. Every post, beam, notch, joint, cut, everything. This let me solve problems on the screen instead of with expensive lumber. From there, I turned the design into a step-by-step build plan in PowerPoint. Every cut, every assembly, a complete cut list. So that by the time I walked into the shop, I wasn't designing anymore, I was executing. With the plan finished, it was time to start cutting and start building. Planning the design and cutting the wood was easy. Now I had to figure out a way to put it together with just me and my son-in-law. This thing's gonna be like 14, 15 feet high when done, and I have to lift huge beams 10 feet off the ground. How's that gonna work? So the principal part of the design was this girder, or sometimes called a tie beam. And this is where the king post attaches to and carries all the weight of the ridge and roof. Most of the weight anyway. And creating the mortise here was what really kind of spooked me. So I came up with this method using 2x8 beams and effectively sandwiching together 4 of them. Because this was going to be the biggest beam. This was going to carry the most weight. So 4 of the 2x8 beams sandwiched together with the notches cut out created a mortise form. And then, as you can see, the way the notch design fits, once this was glued and screwed together, this huge beam, I was able to effectively take this and slide it right over the top of this beam. And once the beams are together, you have this shelf. And that enabled me to take this design, because we sandwiched these 3, but only cut out the notch of these 2, effectively drop it in place. And you get an interlocking design that you can screw into and lock this joint in place, making it very, very tight, strong joint. For each of the main posts, I purchased 8-inch by 8-inch, 10-foot long cedar beams. And in the top, like I talked about before, I cut out these notches in order to rest the girders and the sill. But because the design, I only needed 8-foot long beams, I was able to kind of practice. What I ended up doing was cut off a piece of the beam about 18 inches long and created mock-up versions so that I could effectively build this entire thing on the ground at my level and test out the design before putting it all together for real. With everything working out on the ground, we were then able to confirm our measurements for the rafters. So we measured to the top of the ridge on the king post, from the king post to the girders and the width of the girders, just to make sure our rafter angles were correct and our design was exactly what we wanted. So we went back to the shop, cut out all our rafters, and headed back out to the work site and installed our 8-foot posts. And this is what we have to work with: a perfectly square frame ready to have rafters put on. We got a lot of rain, and all we needed was a clear day to get started finishing this project. So we got at it, we started hanging rafters, and it went perfectly. Every rafter screwed in, 2 feet apart, got it done in an afternoon. After we did the rafters, we decided to stain all the wood. We could have darker stain than the ceiling color, which I used cedar slats, but I wanted the cedar slats to be natural. So we have red cedar stain with a ceiling and back wall that is natural stain. Then it was just time to lay down some roof sheeting and asphalt shingles, trim lines, and got it all done. This was a fantastic product, and here's the end result. Huge thanks and shout out to the DIY Pools and Spas community for helping me make all of this possible. If you want to learn more, follow the links down in the description. Hey, if this video helped you, I'd really appreciate if you could help us grow the channel by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We're gonna do a lot of new things coming up. We got everything from pool maintenance to upgrades and other DIY projects, showing you what actually works and what I've learned along the way. Anybody can do this. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.